Hey there, and welcome to yet another one of my cheesy YouTube videos. I'm doing this video after the fact because I really didn't plan to shoot a video while I was doing this task. But I set out to replace the exhaust manifold gasket on this 2.5 Jeep engine. It's in a 95 Wrangler. It's actually a Dakota engine, which still the 2.5 AMC that I put in here recently. It always had a tick in the Dakota, exhaust tick, but I want to quiet this Jeep down best I can. Plus I'm getting exhaust gases in the cab. So I only had one bolt get stuck, and there was this bolt right here, and it wouldn't come out. This is the end of day 2. And I'm going to tell you this, the head of the bolt was right here on the manifold, of course. And as soon as I wrenched on it, it snapped off right here at the manifold, which was surprising because it could have very well snapped off flush with the block, which meant it gave me about 3/4 of an inch of thread sticking out of the block. So just quickly tell you, if you think you're going to bust one off, you might want to consider cutting the head off the bolt so that you can pull the manifold off, leaving some studs sticking out. If you bear down on it, there's a good chance you'll break it off flush with the block, which makes the job that much harder. So all the other bolts came out relatively easy. So I thought this one would too, but I fought with it for 2 days. But let me just tell you, I did not go too crazy on it, because as long as I had studs sticking out, and actually this is the end of the stud here, as long as I had studs sticking out, I had something to work with. But if I went crazy and broke it off inside, then my problems just got that much worse. So patience is a virtue when you deal with something like this. I coated it in PB Blaster, and I let it sit for hours, and I just finessed it with a pair of channel locks. I had it that really bit down pretty good. And then I realized this is not getting anywhere. So I looked on the internet and I realized there's an oil called Career Oil, or however you pronounce it. Now this was like $25, $26 a can. It's a small can, but it's worth $25 or $26 if I get that bolt out of that head. So I bought this. It's supposed to be a little bit better than PB Blaster. And squirted it multiple times yesterday and today with no luck. So I was getting ready to weld a nut to the stud, but I've been seeing on the internet where people said there's an old time trick of using candle wax. Huh? And the hardest part about the internet is the amount of lies. Google how to get rid of flies on your porch, and you'll be inundated with lies. You know, some are lies, some are just wives' tales that don't really work. But, you know, if somebody, I don't know. Anyways, the candle trick was another one. So I said, okay, I'm going to have to weld this nut to here, but I might as well at least put the candle on it and see what happens. So I heated the stud up. I just touched the candle to it, and the candle melted into the threads, and it's supposed to wick the wax up inside the threads and kind of lubricate the threads to help it come apart. So I did that. Then I immediately took my little MIG welder, and I did a very shitty job welding the nut onto the stud. I don't think I got the right wire in there. I think I got stainless wire, but it held. So I welded the nut to the stud, put my wrench on it. I can only put the opening on because I kind of overdid it with my weld. I'm having a hard time seeing through the welding helmet these days. But anyways, I did I welded it, put my open-end wrench on there, and it moved maybe 1/8 of an inch, 1/16 of an inch. Just enough to know that something moved. And then when that happens, you gotta realize, did the nut move or am I about to break the weld? So I turned it back, and I just applied a little PB blaster. Then I moved it a little bit further, PB blaster, moved it back. And I kept doing that till I could move it further and further. And also I kept doing that till I realized, okay, if this nut was twisting that far in the process of breaking the weld would have been broken by then. So I knew the bolt and the stud were moving. And I just finessed it. Just move it this much, move it back. Squirt it, move it this much, move it back. Squirt it, move it this much, move it back. Squirt it. And keep doing that until next you know you're doing this. And now you're like, okay, I can go all the way around. And it's spun out. So that's kind of one reason why I wanted to do this. When you're working on something like this, patience is a virtue. And I've actually, throughout the years, I've gotten pretty good at getting broken off bolts out of heads or whatever. I worked in a milk processing plant where everything was stainless and aluminum. And stainless and aluminum, they usually crow together and you break the bolt off. So then you're drilling out or doing whatever. And now you're drilling stainless bolts. So anyways, this welding the nut on worked real good. Tried double nutting the stud, and the nuts just wanted to run off together. So that didn't really work that efficiently. I was prepared, and I didn't want to. I was prepared if this bolt would to have broke off when I tried to turn it with my welded nut. If it broke off flush, I was going to consider taking a torch and burning the bolt out of the block. And that's actually what I was trying to Google on YouTube, and I could never find it. It's funny, Google search sucks these days. It should have searched what I was asking for, but it took them words and found them words anywhere they could find it, and it just took me down dark alleys. So anyways, I've done it before, but I'm not going to tell you it's a foolproof plan. But let me just tell you how I do it. First thing I would do is I would clean the tip of my torch. I would make sure that sucker was free of everything flowed right. That when you pulled the trigger on the torch, the oxygen shot straight out in a nice fine blast. If you got a bad torch and it's not burning all the way around like it's supposed to, and the oxygen will glance off to the side or glance off to the side, that's not what you want. You want it to be fine. You want it to work good. Now, I'm making that really clear because you need a really good working torch. Next, I'm giving you my humble opinion on all this stuff. It's my experience, whether I'm right or wrong, is that your block, that whatever it's screwed into, needs to be room temperature, not warm in the least. So, yeah, say you got a broke off stud in here. You light your torch, you get it lit up to where you pull the trigger, you got a nice, fine, blows out nice and fine. Then you stick your torch right in the middle of your broken off stud. You get it hot, let it start turning red. You pull the trigger, you move around, you blow it out, you stop. You don't poke around. Because the way I think it works is that this stud gets hot, and this stud is not cast iron, but this block is. So they both have different characteristics. So you can blow this bolt out without damaging the threads. And you might wind up gouging a thread, but if you run a tap through there, you may find that it's just fine. But if you let this block continue to get hot, because heat will transfer it into the block or the head or whatever, it will, I feel it increases your chance that your torch will burn off into the head and ruin your threads, ruin your hole. And this one's probably in about 1/2 inch, 5/8 inch into the block, but you don't want to go so far. Well, you want to try to blow it all the way out, but you don't want to mess up the back of your hole. So I didn't want to do it. I absolutely did not want to try blowing it out, but I would have. I mean, I've done it before, and I've had fairly decent luck with it. It usually blows the bolt completely away, or maybe leaving little bits here and there that when you run a tap through, it just breaks some little bits loose and your pole's clean and you're ready to go. But there has been times when I looked in there and I've gouged the threads, but the taps clean that up. So do it at your own risk. I've never seen it I did not see it on the YouTube where anybody else has done it, because I'm really looking for just someone else who's done it to make sure, just kind of compare apples and oranges the way I did it, the way they do it, and better myself if I feel what they say would make me better. Anyways, that's what I would have been willing to do. Next thing, of course, you can drill them out, but they almost never break flush. That's another thing. If you can take a grinder and just hit the end of the bolt, if you got just a little bit sticking out to where it's flat, then you can start the drill in the middle and you can drill a pilot hole, and then keep going to bigger drill bits until you got to the size where you can run a tap through. But I'm going to tell you, I am the worst when it comes to aiming a drill bit squarely through a hole. I am the absolute worst. I've done it. I've been successful at doing it, but I wouldn't count my life on it. So drilling it out would have been a choice. Breaking the bit off is a really big possibility. The way bolts are usually hardened, they're hardened on the outside, the shell of the bolt, but in the center, they tend to be not as hard. But they tend to be hard on the ends of the bolts. So you can drill through nice and easy, but when your drill bit gets to the end, it bites into the hard metal, it breaks the bit off inside the bolt. Now you got something harder than the bolt to try to get out. Now you are probably trying to blast the drill bit out with a torch. So you need to be gentle. And this whole thing about getting broken bolts off is patience. That's the biggest key, patience. Research things. Oh, this guy tried this, so I'll give it a try. Part of my job, part of my adventure was to go out and buy a brand new pair of vice grips. Not the El Cheapo brands. I went and got the, Irwin vice grips with the flat jaw, because once you curved jaw, you're not going to be able to bite onto the bolt real good. But it still stripped the threads of the bolt that were sticking out. So it was worth it to go step by step, try different things within reason. But the great part is, my bolt is out, thank goodness. I mean, I'm happy. So I'm going to clean it up, and these 2.5s did not come with gaskets on the exhaust. They're only on the intake. So with that old Dakota, it started leaking by, and I can definitely see black patterns around the holes and almost all the exhaust holes where exhaust had been blown by. So anyways, thank you for watching my video. Please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and remember, if you love life and learning new things, go aimless.com.